channel. I am Angela, and I'm joined here with Dan.
Hello, Angela.
Yes.
Super special guest right off the bat.
Yeah, we do. We've got a special guest today. You guys might know of Joel Comm. We actually have him joining us for this broadcast. Nick's going to go over a couple things with him really quick.
Well, Joel just disappeared. This is a picture of his couch.
Oh, no.
So we'll just hang out for a minute. But for those of you that don't know, we'll have Joel do his own intro as well. Hey, Joel. How you doing?
Sorry. Since I'm wearing the Santa hat, I wanted to run off and get a gift for somebody.
All right. So Joel is the live video guy. He speaks at a ton of conferences. He writes books. He does consulting. He does a ton of live video himself. Do you want to do your own intro, and then we can kind of take things from there?
I think you just did.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Joel.
That's great.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
I've got the Christmas tie, so I'm digging the hat. Happy holidays. So one of the things that we're really excited about with Switcher is making it easier for people to make great content using your mobile device. But just because we solved the technology piece doesn't mean we've solved the whole problem. A lot of times people get hung up on what to say in the first place, or even knowing why they should go live, or what to talk about. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the different ways that people tell stories, and if we could, I guess, kind of jumpstart some of these conversations for people where they can get started.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to give a little preface to that to say that, if you're nervous about doing live, then your focus is kind of in the wrong place. You have to remember that you've got information that you want to bring to the world, and it's not about you. It's about the value that you bring. So whether, whatever kind of story you're telling, keep your focus on who you're speaking to, and they'll take the focus off yourself and your own nervousness. And remember also to talk to the camera, because that's where the people are. Let me show you what I mean. For example, if I'm looking at Nick right now, because we're doing this through the Miracle Switcher Studio, I'm actually on Facebook Messenger with Nick and using the Switcher Studio screen sharing feature that's brand new. They're bringing me in, which I think is pretty cool. So now I'm looking at Nick. But if you notice me looking at Nick, you see my eyes aren't looking at you, the people who are watching. I'm looking at Nick's tie right now. It's very, very fun. Okay, now I'm going to look at the camera and not at my iPad. Oh, hello. There you are. So when you're broadcasting, start by looking at that camera. You know what you look like. If there's any doubt about it, go look in the mirror first. Make sure your hair is on point. If you're wearing makeup, make sure it's on point and you're happy with it. But then look at the camera. The only other time that you don't is when there's comments coming in which case you're going to look down and you're going to acknowledge people with the comments, but then you're going to look back up. So now that we have that set, let's talk about storytelling. Everybody has a story to tell. And you might be saying to yourself, well, I don't know, what do you mean tell a story? Like once upon a time? Or all stories begin with once upon a time, whether we say it or not, because there's a beginning to every story. And there's a middle, which is the meat of your story, and there's the end. And Nick, there's several different types of stories that we can tell. The first kind are your informational stories, right? Where, for example, I can tell a story about the new features of Switcher Studio without sounding too much like a commercial. That's knowledge. Here's how you use the screen sharing feature, right? So it's practical information, speaks to your head, it gives you knowledge. So that's the first kind of story.
Would that be the same as, let's say I'm a restaurant and we have a new menu item? It's news, it's informational. Is that a good example?
That's a great example. Anything in your business that's sharing information about your product, your service, your venue, your town, what all of that is knowledge. It's all information. And
Right.
Again, you're speaking to the head. We're talking to the brain, saying here's something that you need to know. Okay. The second type of story would be the story that speaks to the heart, and that's what falls under the inspirational, the motivational type of story, right? Where we're tapping into the emotion of something that's taking place. And there's a lot of people that like to get on live video to say you can do it, right? To inspire you that, hey, you can pick up this tool and you can get on there and you can share your message with people. And after watching that video, I feel like I can do it, right? So
that was very inspirational, by the way. You've got the
right.
energy.
You're sitting there going, Joel tells me I can do it. I believe I can. And I would actually submit to you, Nick, that inspiring is more important than the knowledge itself. Because if we just share information without inspiring, then we don't build confidence that people can do something with the information we're sharing with them. But if I come on and tell you, about live video and about tools, or if I share with you, a recipe and I cook and I show you how easy it is to prepare this spectacular fudge brownie, holiday recipe, which now I'm hungry. If I inspire you by showing you how easy it is, then you're more likely to go and prepare that recipe yourself.
Right. I think that's why I love watching cooking videos on YouTube. It's like there's something in just watching someone do it, but they don't always do it perfect. And you'll see those mistakes, and to know that you can take that and do it too, it's inspirational.
Yeah, I think of Leslie Nance, for example. She does a great job with that. And George Bryant, does
Right.
a great job with cooking on Facebook. So you have your information, and then you have your inspiration. The third type of story that we can tell is plain old entertainment. Now, if you are talented enough that you can sing, you're a vocalist or play violin or guitar or piano, or you do really great illusions, card tricks that would be good for up close, or you're a comedian, if you're naturally entertaining, then it's a no-brainer. And there's people who do that very successfully. They get on and they sing or they tell jokes, and they're just naturally entertaining. But I'm none of those things professionally. I'm a hack musician. I'm a former DJ, and DJs are basically, people who can't play their own music, so they play.
That's why I DJ'd in college, just so I didn't have to dance.
Okay, let's hear your DJ voice. Give me the radio call out.
I mean, it wasn't really talk show. It was like, here's some good jams, less of me, more of the music. But I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Got really involved with the college radio station at Bellarmine University. And in fact, that's where I met a lot of the people that are now part of the Switcher team, including my wife.
Fun.
So,
okay, well, that's perfect. Proof that music brings us together. Well, I'm going to throw down Rock 107 WPGU, Urbana-Champaign's classic rock.
Nailed it.
Still after all these years. Then I'd spin my little records.
Which are making
Anyway.
a great comeback. But so we've got 3 types we talked about so far. How many are on the list?
Well, what I want to make, there's 4.
Okay.
And the point I want to make is that you may not be a natural entertainer in terms of a particular skill, but I have moments of being entertaining. Some people watch me because they think I'm funny looking, whatever. So, but there is an element of entertainment to all good broadcasts. In fact, there's elements of all of these. If you break down any one of my broadcasts, and you'll see all 3 of these, that there's information, that there's inspiration, and it's fun to watch. Now, some of the viewers might be getting inside their heads and going, okay, which is this going to be? Do I entertain? If you're overthinking it like that, take a step back, and I'm going to give you the 4th type of story to tell. And it's the easiest one because it's experiential. And experiential videos are nothing more than where you are, who you're with, and what you're doing. That's it. So, I find myself at the Denver Zoo, and I'm like, oh, there's the baby giraffe. I pull out my 360 camera, and I go live, bringing people into the experience of the giraffes, and there's the baby one. I went to the Star Wars, there was an exhibit at the Denver Art Museum on the art of Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, I bought my ticket, went in, and went live with it. And I'm showing people, there's Darth Vader costume, there's Chewbacca, there's Princess Amidala. And I'm making commentary as I walk through. But I'm not the star of the show. The experience, the content that I'm sharing is. So experiential videos are the easiest. And guess what? When you do an experiential video, odds are you're going to end up sharing knowledge. You're going to end up inspiring, and it's going to be entertaining. So there you go, 4 types of stories.
And if you're a business, it's really easy to go behind the scenes. You don't have to be scripted. You don't have to change what you're doing. You're just sharing it. And if it's, making coffee or signing cards, doing a book signing or sending out letters for Christmas, just sharing what you're doing, that opens up a conversation with your listeners where you can build a relationship. And if you're a business, I know that's one of the things you've talked about, relationship equals sales. So we have a great post going up on the Switcher website today. It's switcherstudio.com. That's the interview with Joel and Aaron Sell. So be sure to check that out. We've got some tidbits that we've pulled out in the copy, and you can watch the full interview on switcherstudio.com. So Joel, thanks again. Happy holidays, and we will talk soon.
I want to do a giveaway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
this is a copy of my new book. It's a little pocket book, perfect for bathroom reading, called The Live Video Revolution. And if you will comment below with an animated GIF,
okay. Comment GIFs. Got it.
That you have to comment with a GIF that you think best describes Nick.
Oh.
From Switcher. You have to post one that best describes Nick. 1 entry per person, and Nick, you will pick the winner, and then I will ship them a copy of this book.
I like it. Dan, Angela, just for you all, if you missed that, Joel is doing a competition giveaway for his book. He's asked people to leave gifts in the comments, and gifts that they think represent me. So we'll pick one out later. And get them in touch with Joel. But thanks again for tuning in. Again, be sure to check out that post at switcherstudio.com. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thanks, Joel.
Thanks, Nick. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you, Nick, for facilitating that. That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was able to listen to. I'm monitoring the stream here, so I kind of got to listen to it as well. Angela was completely in the dark for that, but a lot of really, really great information from Joel. Joel's a great resource for live videos, and I highly, highly recommend checking him out if you want more information. I saw some questions coming through in the comments on how we set that up. I figured that was going to be a question that we were going to get, so I did take some pictures of the setup I have, and in our strategy piece, we can go over that as well. But before we do that, back to our regularly scheduled program, I think Angela has some great industry news coming up.
Yeah, we've got some 3 interesting little tidbits for you guys today. So the first, we always start with Facebook on industry news. Facebook continues to evolve on a weekly basis at this point. And today is about Facebook gaming. So this time last year, November 2016, Facebook put out their Instant Games platform. And what this does is there are certain games that run on HTML5 that you can play on your newsfeed on Facebook or in Facebook Messenger. And what this means is that instead of actually installing the game, taking up space on your phone or on your computer, you can actually play it right on Facebook or right on Messenger. Now, when this launched, there were 13 games. As of now, they're close to about 60, including big games like Words with Friends. And what's happened this week is Facebook has made it where you can live stream these games. So while you're playing them on your newsfeed or while you're playing them on Messenger, you can start up a live video, and that way people can watch you play. They can do commentary as you're holding your phone like this, or your webcam's here. It can get a shot of your face, so you're still in it like a normal live stream for games, but people will be able to see what you're doing. And one reason Facebook is making this push is to compete with Google Play and the App Store. The problem with both of those platforms right now is they don't cross one another. If something's exclusive to the App Store or exclusive to Google Play, people are restricted based on what kind of phone they have. And with Facebook Instant Games, it doesn't matter what kind of phone you have. If you have Facebook or if you have Messenger, you're able to play, you're able to stream. And it's part of what Facebook's doing to go into 2018 as a major mobile gaming competitor.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting just how, they're just, I don't know, Facebook, I feel like there's something new every week with them.
Yeah, every week I just look up what's Facebook done.
It's like, what's Facebook doing this week? Yeah.
Big and exciting. Speaking of Facebook, so Facebook and Instagram are buddies at this point. Instagram had a big update yesterday. So if you guys are Instagrammers, haven't installed the new update that came out yesterday, make sure to do that. We've mentioned Instagram stories on the show before several times. And one thing that's always been a feature of Instagram stories is the fact that they go away. They're there for 24 hours and then they disappear forever, and they're not able to be saved like Snapchat. So it created this sense of, urgency to look at stories from other people or to find a way to save yours. But now Instagram has it where you can save stories. So one of their new features for the app update is archive, it's automatically turned on. So any story you guys post, it's going to be saved. No one can see this archive except you. So if there's stories you don't want everyone to see, don't worry about that. Also, you can turn off the feature in your settings if you don't want your stories automatically saved. The other cool thing they've done is added a highlight feature. So for example, your Throwback Thursday or something, you're able to see all of your past stories, and you can select either one or multiple stories at a time and re-put those on your stories for that day. So that way, if there was a cool vacation you had done a few months ago, you can have a throwback to that and show it again. So Instagram has definitely, pushed their stories platform a little bit further. They've brought in some of what Snapchat has to offer with saving it, but now with the highlight feature, they've also added that extra oomph, especially with having multiple stories being able to be added at the same time. And the last thing I wanted to discuss with you guys today is about Vine. So a lot of you remember Vine was a big 6-second video making platform that was bought out by Twitter. Unfortunately, last year it went away. It was about January, I think, that it shut down. Well, as of 2 weeks ago, the founder of Vine, Dylan Hoffman, he announced that he is bringing back Vine as Vine 2, or V2, people have been calling it.
V2, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what it's actually called. I feel like it's kind of like the iPhone 10 versus iPhone X.
Yeah, Vine 2, V2, I've seen both posted, including on their official page. So I think they're rolling with both right now, but they are planning on bringing it back. One thing they're saying is they want to make sure it's a friendly platform for everyone. There's going to be options to promote your own Vine channel in the app, which was not available in the last version. They're also putting ways to hide certain tags that you don't want to see, so those aren't constantly popping up in your feed. Now, if you're interested in getting started with Vine 2 or V2, the beta is going to be released on January 31st. If you're interested in that, go on Twitter and go to @Vine2Beta. And what it'll do is it'll send you a link where you can subscribe for updates and get in that V2 beta program. The full app will be out in March, and they did say, unfortunately, none of your old Vine followers or videos are going to roll over to V2, so everyone's going to be starting over from the beginning. But still, I'm excited. Everyone I've seen so far posting about this on Facebook and Twitter is excited. I think, rolling it back to step one might be pretty exciting for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fresh take on it. I mean, it was successful before.
Yeah.
They probably weren't making money on it, but I mean, like Snapchat's not making money right now either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out. I didn't do much with Vine when it first was out, but it could be interesting. Just a fun, goofy, extra thing to do.
Yeah. But that is our industry news for this week.
Well, I think going into our strategy, let me bring up that lower third here. Another little piece of industry news kind of tied in here, talking
Yeah.
about music.
Mhm.
And again, I tried not to go down the copyright rabbit hole last week on the show, but we're kind of going to do it again here, but in a good way.
Yeah, this time it's good news.
Yes. So yeah, what's the news?
So Facebook, has been kind of the most predominant of axing videos for copyright infringement in terms of music. And what's happened is a lot of creators, whether they're going live or uploading videos, have been wondering what kind of music to use. We've given some examples the past few weeks, but now Facebook has brought something to the table for all their creators. They have just launched what's called the Facebook Sound Collection. And what this is a huge database of all kinds of songs that have been licensed by Facebook, as well as sound effects. And you can use these in any of your live broadcasts or any of your pre-recorded videos without fear of copyright infringement. Now, one thing to watch out for is these have been licensed by Facebook.
Yes.
If you're going to be, uploading stuff to YouTube or Twitch or another platform, keep in mind that they might not have been licensed on that platform either. But for Facebook, you are 100% good to go with all the music and all the sound effects.
And what I think is great about it is from my understanding, it's not just live video.
Yeah.
This is for recorded stuff too. So it's a really great way.
Yeah.
I'm glad Facebook's thinking about it. I don't think it's exactly where we want it to be yet, because obviously if you pay for the rights to use a song, you want to be able to use it, but there's not a great way, so it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, they've noticed, the issue going on. They've heard people and what they're saying about, using music, using royalties, and, they've definitely made this available. It's free to use these sounds and these songs, so they've definitely taken the initiative, put this out there for you guys. And again, it's for any kind of video on Facebook. The only thing to watch out for is other platforms, but for Facebook broadcasters and Facebook video uploaders, definitely check out the sound collection. I think we have a link that we can put in the comments for you guys as
It's
well.
been put into the comments, so yeah, you all should
Awesome.
be able to see that. And I noticed, I hadn't seen it before, but when I was scheduling this Facebook Live and went back in to update some of the stuff, that it was right there, like the link for it. So yeah, super cool, really useful.
Yeah.
I guess while we're here, and we did do the setup earlier on how to bring in like a Skype call or something. We've gotten that question a lot. I think we've gone over it, but if people are still interested in seeing it, I took some pictures. I put them up on my computer so I can share that screen, and I can kind of run through how to set that up or how to make it so you can bring in, as we had Joel Comm, and that was actually through Facebook Messenger is how we were. And I'm really surprised about, now that I think about it, Nick didn't use a single filter the entire time he was on.
Yeah.
We were testing it, he had sunglasses. I mean, I'll be honest, when I was testing it too, I had ridiculous stuff on my face too, but yeah, I'm surprised he didn't use those, but
Maybe next time.
maybe next time. So let's go over this. As you know with Switcher, and this is very Switcher specific is what I'm getting into here, so still a good live video strategy, and it still is getting you thinking about the right things. But with Switcher Studio, all your audio needs to come through the main switching device, which is this guy for me right here. This is what I'm making all the switches from. I've got my iRig plugged in here. So first thing that I need to do is make sure all the audio goes through one place first and then to the iRig. And what I'm using for that is this mixer right here. So this is actually a picture of how we have everything set up. So if you remember seeing Nick had that microphone in front of him, yes, that's right here. So that was this first mic input here. It's just an XLR input. I've got his level here and with the gain. Then this one right here, the second input, is a shotgun that I think you can kind of see in this picture right here if I switch over. Yep. So there's the shotgun mic. That's what you're hearing, what's picking up Angela and my audio. So going back to here. That's this one right here. Input, same thing. We've got our levels. And then this third one here, we're getting audio from the camera. Do I have a picture of that? Yes, okay. So this wasn't the exact setup, but you'll get the idea. Nick had his phone just on a tripod, and we had audio coming out of that into this line here. So this was just a 3.5 millimeter. So he had the little plug for because I think he has the iPhone 10. So he had the lightning to headphone jack, I guess, and so I'm just transferring that into the XLR in here. So since I have all of my audio right here, I'm able to just take one stereo out and bring it into my iRig. It sounds complicated. It's not that bad. The other thing you'll need to know is, so the person you're having conversation with, you'll either have to put that into speakers if you want everyone to hear it. For this case, we just had Nick monitoring everything here on the headphones he was wearing, so he was able to hear Joel that way. But yeah, it's really just that simple. It's not too much work. We do have some documentation on this to help you kind of set it up if you want to. It works with, I guess I should mention too, we had the iOS screen sharing, right? That's how we were sharing the screen, and in here. As Nick had iOS screen sharing running. But you could do the same thing if you don't want to use a phone. You could use SwitcherCast. Like that's how I'm sharing my screen here. So you could bring in like a Skype call that way or something. So yeah, a really useful thing to do. It does take a little bit of gear and a little getting used to, but it's very, very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. And great results as you guys saw from the broadcast today. So very easy to set up. And speaking of iOS screen sharing, we've got some more information on iOS screen sharing coming to you guys in just a moment.
Yeah, this is, I guess, switching gears to our user group. We're getting, was it drones, I guess the question we were getting?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of questions on, if there's a way to use drones with Switcher Studio. This is, of course, the user group Switcher Studio Enthusiasts. You guys can search that on Facebook or on the page you're watching this on right now. Click on Groups from the menu. It'll take you directly to the page. We are close to 1,300 people in the group at this point, so that's definitely exciting. But drones are, a popular feature. It's something that'll enhance a lot of people's live video, and they've been asking for a while how that can be used with Switcher Studio. With iOS screen sharing, you can now incorporate your drones into your broadcast. And the way that happens, we're going to use DJI as an example. That's a really popular company who does drones. Most drones come with an app that you can install on your phone, and that app will show you the feed from your drone onto your phone screen at the same time. So as your drone's flying, you can look at your phone and see that source. Now, where iOS screen sharing comes in with Switcher Studio is if you turn on iOS screen sharing, whatever is on your phone screen is now mirrored inside Switcher Studio as another source. So by doing that, the drone that's flying up above, you're seeing the feed on your phone, and then you're seeing that same feed inside Switcher Studio. So that's a great way to bring that extra angle into Switcher Studio. iOS screen sharing, of course, can be used for a lot of other cool things. If you're doing sporting events and you want to bring in a scoreboard, you can download a lot of free scoreboard apps, bring that in with iOS screen sharing, and use picture-in-picture multi-view in Switcher Studio to put that in a corner. Also, green screen, a lot of you guys have been asking about. If you have any kind of green screen app on your phone like VScope, same process, set it up so that you can see the chroma key working on your phone. Use iOS screen sharing, and that's now a source in Switcher Studio as well. So iOS screen sharing, for showing social media feeds, anything like that, video games, it's a great way to do that. But also for a lot of these, little hacks like using drones and using scoreboards, that's a great and easy way, even on the fly, to be able to bring those in.
Yeah, the scoreboard is one that I think I'm excited about seeing what
Yeah.
people do, because I know there's great examples out there like WeStream, who's doing all sorts of like hockey games and stuff like that, and they've made an overlay that they're putting over a small graphic that's shooting at the scoreboard to make it look like they have one, but now they'll be able to just have another iOS device running a scoreboard app and have some really cool stuff. So yeah, that's one. Drones too is one I've been asking for a while. Nick actually just got one of the small sparks in the controller, so we're hoping to test it out and get some going ourselves here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely iOS screen, and of course another use for it is bringing in, a messenger
calls.
call or something like that. So yeah, that's really good information about screen sharing. It's definitely one I would recommend checking out. And yeah.
Yeah, we've got a blog post that we're working on right now that should be up soon, just kind of detailing the different things you can do with iOS screen sharing. When that is available, it'll be advertised on our Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn pages. So, if you guys are following those, you'll know when that post is up. And again, it's going to have a full breakdown of different things you can do with iOS screen sharing. So that's something to definitely keep in mind for the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm. I see some people in the comments asking about overlays and stuff, and I don't know if you're talking about, the ones that I'm using here like this. These are built into the app, the the lower thirds and overlays here. So you can import overlays, lower thirds. We have the text editor inside the app that allows you to create these. For instance, when we were talking to Joel, I was able to build this one as we were going and have that be up on screen. So people knew we're talking with Joel and what they're watching and all that good stuff. And there's different flavors of it. We've got tons of knowledge-based articles and tutorials on it, so you can check out our website for more information on that. Yeah, so I mean, I was talking about sports a second ago. I think our hashtag Made with Switcher, which I just had that lower third up and then got rid of, kind of has to do with, right?
Yeah, so, again, the user group we mentioned, we have a lot of people who share not only tips and tricks and questions, but video they've done. We also have people uploading their video to social media using the hashtag MadeWithSwitcher, and both of those are great ways for us to see your live video. And every week on Stream Squad, we pick one live video to show as an example of what can be done with Switcher. This week we have a video by the company Goalie Training Pro, and just as their name suggests, this is a video on goalie training. So this is definitely an exciting one. This is, kind of use case I hadn't seen before, but great company, great video. Definitely.
Yeah, what I really
happy
like
to
about it,
find
I'll
them.
just skip through, is they're really prepared. They have a great outline of what they're going to talk about. I like that they're using a kind of like a dry erase board behind them so they can show stuff off. If we go, here we go, I'll skip out a little bit and you can see she's doing some different drills and whatnot so you can just get better. And yeah, I think it's just an interesting way to share more content, like that's kind of or Joel mentioned earlier, just telling stories and talking about telling stories and all that. Just if you're good at something, you should be showing it and telling people about what you can do.
Yeah.
And helping people do that stuff as well.
Yeah, but to see their full video, there's going to be a link to it in the description for this post. Also, to see more on our special guest Joel Comm or anything else we've talked about today, we've got some links for those not only in the comments but on the description as well to get to their actual pages. So that's going to be an easy way for you guys to follow up and learn more about Goalie Training Pro and Joel Comm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Really quick, I think it was Ezekiel asking, is it possible to do a Facebook video call to a like page? And what I think we're asking there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's if someone likes Switcher Studio, could we bring them in as a guest as well? How we were set it up earlier is we set up like a Facebook Messenger. So you're going to have to connect with that person and bring them in that way. But you could possibly do it on the fly if you had everything set up. You just have to connect with them over a messenger or, bring them in through Skype or Google Hangout, something like that. Pretty much as long as you have the audio run through your mixer or whatever you're using to get all the audio together and you have video of them on the screen you're sharing, you're going to be able to do it. So that's the workaround right now, and that's the way to do it. There's a ton of different applications that'll help you do it. Just like someone was talking about green screen, I saw that comment come through. A similar thing, just we've got the iOS screen sharing, so green screen, I'm not sure if it's going to be something in Switcher Studio, but it is something that could happen where you could have an app running a green screen and bring that in as a source as well. So it is possible to do. You just have to get a little more creative with it. I do think that's going to be all the time we have for today, though. Thank you, everyone, for checking out. As Angel said, if you need more help, check out the enthusiast group, the Switcher Studio enthusiast group. I think is a great resource for information. Or you can email us at support, right?
Yeah, support@switcherstudio.com. We're happy to help you guys out. Again, thanks for joining us for this awesome show today. Thanks to Joel Comm for being on the show. Mm-hmm. And again, we're live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific.
All right, everyone. Take care.
See ya.